testament to the people who think along those lines. Because really, in the absence of Kylian and Mbappe, it has been very, very clear. Say, Real Madrid team, just cannot function alone without him. And in that game against Manchester City, Real Madrid needed somebody to step up. They needed somebody to be the guy that stands up and gets counted. There were a lot of opportunities in that match and that fell to somebody else that they couldn't convert. Of course, obviously, our games, very, very difficult for Madrid for them. Before a Kubo game, the rhetoric from the journalist in Germany, and when they say, whatever happens, say Madrid for lose against team, a friend of Manchester City, and they were going to sack Xabi Alonso. The big question is that after that performance against Manchester City, because you can't tell me that was a bad performance, it wasn't drab. It was left with a final finish, and I think that tactically, Xabi Alonso understood what he had to do, especially given the strength of his team in this match. But the big question is that, do any Madrid person look at that and say, okay, you know what, let's hold on. Xabi Alonso can do the job. Or the big conversation is that they sacked Xabi Alonso from this one. Very, very interested in that regard. Of course, also, Paris Saint-Germain have done what they have not done this season. For the very first time in the Champions League and also in all competitions this season, Paris Saint-Germain went away from home and it was a 0-0. 0-0 Paris Saint-Germain. And that tells you, nobody expected Paris Saint-Germain and Athletic Club de Bilbao to play, and it ended up in a 0-0. Nobody expected that. And that is the only reason TNA could did not boom. Yesterday was just because Inter Milan could not just get one goal to make it a draw. Or Monaco and Galatasaray could not make it at over 1.5. And today is because Paris Saint-Germain could not score. Sometimes you come through everything, do the analysis. But football just happens. It doesn't mean that we stop, to be very honest. If you stop and then you end up, we win and then you come and say, Fifi, just when I didn't stake, that's when I lost. Then that is up to you. Over here, we make sure that we keep going. Tomorrow is the Europa League. We will be back. We'll look at it, look into it, we'll delve into it. And I'm very certain that once this week, we've not had that win. But once we hit it up from tomorrow, we'll go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and probably to the next weekend. So it's up to you if you want to give up. But then, of course, we do not do that over here. There are lots of other very interesting results. Arsenal kept the 100% record in the Champions League. Again, they got that job done. Juve stayed at home and got a job done and of course, there was that Paris Saint-Germain game I saw that went to Hey, Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. It's your best place for football tactical analysis. Someone subscribe to the channel and subscribe to the channel. Turn your notification. In the notification, turn you choose all. Just say anytime there is content here, you are first. Love it here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. If you're an investor, then we do that every day. You come to the description of the video, pick up the codes, give yourself a big chance at winning something here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. So always, always, always look into the description of the video. Go and pick up the codes and give yourself a big chance at winning something here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. It's very imperative that you get that job. Now, let me say my thank yous. First off, ESMO Spare Parts Dealership Shop, the best place for car spare parts. Friend on 059-313-8221. ESMO will be right there for you. Of course, MOB Clothing, so Tontari or to do a flower station and MOB Clothing. Call him on 0200-668-708. 0200-668-708. So reach out to MOB Clothing. He'll take very, very good care of you. The BBR, I come pa. Hold on. Where do we start from? I think that's important to talk about Paris Saint-Germain. Honestly speaking, I don't think anybody expected Paris Saint-Germain this season in this game away at Athletic Club. Now, Athletic Club were a very, very funny attitude of playing goalless draws, 0-0, sometimes when they play, even in the Spanish La Liga. So they're a team that always avoid them. But when it comes to Athletic Club, Paris Saint-Germain, they're coming to your home. Paris Saint-Germain don't care the number of times you play in a draw. They get the results that they are looking for. So I was expecting, okay, fine. Paris Saint-Germain were going to be able to get the results against Team my friend Athletic Club. There were going to be some goals in there. But that obviously did not happen. Of course, and when you look at the game that went on, if you look at today in the Champions League table, still Arsenal on top. That was our standings. So with commanding lead at the top, nothing can stop Arsenal from qualifying into the top 8 of the competition. Everybody that they've met, so Arsenal have played 6 games, they've had 18 points, 100% record. Bayern Munich have lost just one and it was against Arsenal, 15 points. PSG, 13 points over there. They've had a draw and a loss already in the competition. And of course, this one, 13 points. Manchester City with 13 points. Atalanta, 13 points. And then after getting that job done, Atlanta for a jump ahead of Chelsea, 13 points. Inter, 12 points. Real Madrid, 12 points. Athletic Club de Madrid, 12 points. Liverpool, 12. Dortmund, 11. Tottenham, 11. Newcastle, 10. Chelsea, 10. Sporting CP, and so 10. Barcelona, 10. So, I mean, what it means is that if you don't win your games, the pack is going to peel up away from you. And this is the end of the Champions League conversation in the year 2025. You have Champions League be next year in February 2026. That's where there's going to be Champions League games. I mean, over there are going to be a lot of analysis with respect to games now. But what an interesting game it was. Again, the Paris Saint-Germain match, Luis Enrique went away from home. He was going to play against Team Friend Athletic Club de Bilbao. We were expecting Luis Enrique and the man will manage to get the results against them, but that obviously did not happen. It was a game where it was end-to-end, but then the quality of finishing wasn't there. And it looks as if said, Coach friend Luis Enrique managed to rest most of his important players, which is Oshe Obi to say, Abrantia, your friend on somebody. When you look at somebody like Abrantia friend Usman Dembele, he managed to rest him. When you look at these players, that's what Abrantia friend Luis Enrique managed to do, to rest those players. Senegal, he isn't going to stress about anything else. And that's exactly what Tima, your friend of Paris Saint-Germain. Then the big one was that one away at the Santiago Bernabeu, where Manchester City was supposed to go away from home to play against Real Madrid. And obviously, coming into this one, Madrid form in big games haven't been good. After that win against Barcelona, Madrid have hit nosedive. They have had a lot of issues in terms of league, and also when they play in the Champions League. And before this game, a lot of injury issues on the centre-back area. And of course, there was a lot of pressure on Coach Xabi Alonso. Now, he had to come back, deliver, build the game, and see if he can get a result from there. Obviously, it was definitely not going to be easy. And if you look at how Pep Guardiola set up for this game, it was essentially to make sure that he has much more control of the game. Oba Brentje Feni, Nico Gonzalez as a 6, Bosco Vardiol, any Brentje Feni, Ruben Diaz as a 4 and 5, Obo Nico Reali, any Brentje Feni, Matthias Nunes, with a Brentje Feni, Gianluigi Donnarumma in post. And of course, in the middle of the pack, he had a good combination of Bernardo Silva, who could play as a false, a half winger or false winger. Any Brentje Feni, Ryan Cherki also rotating consistently with Jeremy Doku on the other side. Of course, with Erling Haaland awaiting on him. Something that was supposed to give Manchester City a lot of control. Because obviously, so called the Santiago Bernabeu, it's always going to be chaotic. It's always going to be a game where you need to find some level of control, unless you can match the chaotic nature of how Madrid won the ball game. And for Madrid, everybody knew that there was the absence of a branch here friend Kylian Mbappe. And the brief in the media was that he had some niggling pain on the left knee. And also, he had fractured, I think, 1 or 2 of his fingers. So obviously, Mbappe wasn't in the right condition to go in and play. What it meant is that the onus of making a difference was on our branch here friend of Vini Jr. And for me, I think that if you look at the chances that went to Vini Jr., the fact that he couldn't get a single goal, I mean, it was worrying. It was a game where reminded Vini Jr. of how 2 or 3 seasons ago, the kind of clinical instincts and all. It looks as if Vini Jr. doesn't have that again. And when Madrid wanted to set up the first goal, he came from our branch friend Rodrigo Goes on that left foot. Excellent left foot from the right-hand side. And our branch friend Rodrigo Goes at the first goal. But again, Madrid failed to defend the lead. Madrid failed to hold on to the control when they had the lead. And that's when City could now pounce and open up Football Club Real Madrid and get spaces in between them to make sure, say, on behalf team, the friend of Madrid, El Horman, it did affect them, of course, in the first half. In the second half, it was seen, and it essentially puts Madrid in a very, very difficult place. I think in the second half, there were a lot of other opportunities in the way of Vinicius Jr. There was a bicycle kick that came. Vini Jr. could not score. Jude Bellingham had a chance. In fact, in the first half, Jude Bellingham also had another chance that he failed to convert El Hornum. And after the game, Rodrigo goes as quickly gone to go and speak to the media. And one of the very first things that Rodrigo Goes has said is that we are 100% with our coach. We fully support Xabi. That's exactly what Rodrigo Goes. He supports his team. And a lot of the people on Real Madrid TV almost say the defeat is unfair because, to be very honest, Madrid put in a shift. They were solid. They defended in transitions well. They were much more aggressive. They were compact. But again, it is the quality of the finishing. One penalty, a loss of head from Antonio Rudiger, sometimes being overzealous and too physical when it has to do with games like that. And those are the things that made the difference in there. You look at the Madrid team, almost everybody was upset, from Rudiger, Vinicius Jr., everybody on all Madrid team looked distraught at the end of the game. But it tells you the level in which Pep team and where Abrentia, a friend of Xabi Alonso, Xabi knew that this job was going to be difficult. He knew that it wasn't going to be easy. And if you look at it, in the last 8 games, Madrid have just won twice. 8 games, Madrid have just won twice of the games that are there. And that should tell you that is very, 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 very hard for Team Friend of Football Club Real Madrid. Today, when you look at the game that they put up, Alvaro Carreras put up a fight, Federico Valverde. I think that Madrid played some of their good football and at the Santiago Bernabeu. But sometimes in football, it just doesn't happen for you. Sometimes you just push, but it doesn't happen for you. And that's exactly what happened tonight in that Champions League game for them. But for me, again, I think that, football is like this. When Xabi Alonso was coming to Real Madrid, there were 2 things. Whether he was going to go the chaotic way or he was going to control things. Xabi Alonso is a coach that has had his education under coaches that were defensive, some were very physical, some were very compact and stuff like that. So which way was Xabi Alonso going to go in? He decided to go with one where he could manage things and then control the game when it comes to how he wanted to go in and go and play his matches. That is what he has done. But, he has not gotten the results. It has been very, very difficult for him to get some results when it comes to managing these games and controlling the things. That is how he has been able to manage signing money. He needs to make sure sort out all of those things, which is very, very important for our brand friend Xabi Alonso, just so he doesn't get any more issues. He doesn't get any more issues at all Football Club Real Madrid. It's been a tough one for him. It's been a very, very tough one for him when he sees it. We'll see how things are going to go on from there when it comes to the conversation for our brand friend Xabi Alonso and any team Football Club Real Madrid and how they can bring themselves up. Haaland draws the penalty and scores it completely, turn the game around in the 33rd minute, obviously. We all knew it was going to be a game that was going to come down to the margins, and that is where your friend Erling Haaland was able to sort things out, to manage the game nicely, turn things around, going for the results. That's exactly what your friend Erling Haaland has been able to do for your friend of Manchester City. In a very, very important game, in a hugely important game. That is a game where your friend Erling Haaland has been able to go in and then gets the results from there. We'll see how things are going to go on from there. Of course, Vinicius Jr. actually in the first goal, Rodrigo goes, actually in the first goal in 32 matches. And then in the very first day, your friend of Vinicius Jr. Rodrigo goes, actually in the very, very first goal. Something that we knew that was going to be a very, very tough one. That's exactly what Abrantia, the friend of Rodrigo Goes, has managed to go in and then go and get a winner on him. It's important that he's able to sort that out. But the big disappointment was away at the San Mamés when the defending champions went away to go and play against Athletic Club, and not a single goal came from there. Not a single goal in a Bafri Honum. The game was played and not a single goal came from both of them. It's obviously affected the team. It did affect everybody in terms of bomb match, they're not getting the results. And of course, Paris Saint-Germain feel like this is a game where they had to come in and get their results to cement their place out top 8 in them. But when you look at the starting lineup, Luis Enrique, the core match, I did not think they were going to be able to get the results in there. I think that one of the things that most likely can affect Paris Saint-Germain is how Omubetini starts to get the players back into the team, especially with Dembele, Desiree Doué, who has returned as well, Victor Kvaratskhelia, Badi Bakora. This front three that was very lethal. It was very important. Of course, Unai Simon had an excellent game for team my friend Athletic Club de Bilbao. He was a rock in the post, prevented Paris Saint-Germain for from getting any shot at goal, getting any goal out of him. Very, very good in terms of the shot stopping ability. There was one ball, Fabian Duri, largely, prevent a ball from scoring out of him. That was very, very important for Abrantia, your friend, Abrantia, friend, Unai Simon in terms of the performance. Of course, there was another one at the Bay Arena that was Bayern for Leverkusen playing against team your friend, Newcastle United. And Newcastle obviously knew that they had to go away from home and put up a show. It was going to be not easy for both teams. Newcastle, however, wanted to get into the game and see how they can go in and then solidify and get a results, play well. It was obviously not going to be a straightforward one for team and friend Newcastle United. The game ended and it was a Bruno Guimaraes own goal and a Gomado goal. Bayern for Leverkusen, so 2 goals, and then later on it was Anthony Gordon and their brand friend Luis Miley, and then had 2 goals also for them. Bodo Glimt away from home, it be both goals to go. Bodo Glimt there, anywhere that they go, there is always goals. There's always goals to Bodo Glimt. Where then on measure goals somehow, and that's exactly what Bodo Glimt won. But 2 goals from our brand friend Julian Brandt from Dortmund for now. Benfica stayed away from home, stayed at home. I said it several times. I do not trust Antonio Conte to go away from home and get anything from matches. He is not good enough. Antonio Conte going away from home, going to try matches. He is just not the guy to sort things out for him. And that is exactly what has affected our brand friend Antonio Conte. Benfica for were beginning to play well. They were solid, they were compact. They managed to hold on to their things off. And that's exactly what Benfica were able to do. They have managed to get the maximum points and that gives them good standing qualifying to the next round of the competition, whether it's from the playoffs or whatever, they are going to go through and have a good stand at qualifying to the next round. Of course, Antonio Conte away performance, our Champions League team keeps on getting bad, and it happened again away in Benfica in Portugal. And I'm the one who's an Antonio Conte fanboy, but I've said it several times that he just is not good enough in games like this. It affects him so much. It's not good enough for him, and he needs to make sure he sorts it out. Luciano Spalletti stayed at home and played against team your friend Pafus. They did a job. They did a very, very good job. Power on Juve for Etienne 2 goals to 0 by goals from Abrantia, your friend Jonathan David, and Abrantia friend Weston McKennie, and Abrantia friend Jonathan David were able to sort things out nicely for themselves. They made sure say Bibi Abe koso come pa Eriama Tima, your friend Juventus they sorted things cleanly well for themselves. And I think that that is a very, very good one. Noni Madueke had an excellent strikeouts goal. 2 of them on their bench, your friend Gabriel Martinelli were on the shots, were on the score sheet, and they made sure say Tima, your friend Arsenal for to keep their record at home. It was a very, very good performance from Arsenal. What it means is that even also for Erling Haaland, 51 goals in 50 Champions League starts, 55 goals in 55 Champions League games. Charlie, what a record for Erling Haaland. That record is insane. It's probably one of the best records that you can get. Jose Mourinho has won 150 games, has managed 150 games in the Champions League. And obviously, as it stands now, he's probably the most experienced manager when it comes to the Champions League. He's one of the best. We'll see how things are going. And of course, an LTCBS Golaza. People are talking about Xabi Alonso, whether he's going to stay there. Then just in, Xabi Alonso will stay at Madrid until at least January, unless the team goes through a very poor period. The club has set the Spanish Super Cup in January as the ultimate test. Xabi is about to find out the only projects that matters at Real Madrid is winning. For them, that's the only thing that Madrid thinks about. The only thing Madrid wants to know is to make sure that they go in and go and get the win. It's the most important thing that they have to go in and then go and get a job. And that's exactly how Madrid are going to go into the next set of games now and hope that they are going to get a win someday. It's not going to be easy. It's really, really not going to be easy at all. But of course, we'll see how Abrantia, your friend, we'll see how Abrantia, your friend, Abrantia, your friend, Erling Haaland, and of course, Xabi Alonso is going to turn things around at Football Club Real Madrid. Madrid here is just about winning. The club culture at Madrid really is about winning. Nothing else matters. Developing players, whatnot. That's why they spend the big bucks to buy the best players in the world. And that's exactly what they do. can Xabi Alonso get Madrid back to winning ways? Can they begin to win matches or not? Because if they're unable to do that, it's going to be a very, very bad one. It's going to put them in a very, very tight condition when it comes to the games that are going on from there. It's going to put them in a very, very precarious condition as to whether he's able to keep his job as Real Madrid manager or they won't be able to keep their job. And we'll see how things are going to go on from there. Of course, at the beginning, Madrid for only thought that they had gotten a penalty, but that obviously did not happen. There was no penalty for them for Vini Jr. It didn't happen. Of course, they had to sort things out. And we'll see how things are going to go on from there when it comes to the games that are going to go on in terms of the games that are also or the rest of the Champions League games that kind of will have all those competition. Of course, Arsenal in the league phase of the Champions League 2-0, Athletic Club de Bilbao 2-0, Bayern Munich 4-0, Atletico de Madrid 3-0, Olympiacos 3-1, Bayern 3-0, Club Brugge. I mean, that is a team that is on fire. That team is on fire, is on serious fire, and they are delivering. They are getting the job done. What it means that we turn our attention to the league games now. After the game, Erling Haaland, also we know about Madrid's injuries. We expected Mbappe to play. Of course, when a player like that doesn't play, you are not happy because you want to play against the best. But of course, it's a boost for us that we don't have him. Arsenal are unbeaten in their last 10 Champions League group stage matches over them. They have Liverpool's record in sight of being the only English team to win 10 plus league games in a row in the Champions League. That's what the kind of performance Arsenal for. And after the game against team a friend of Manchester City, Raul Asensio say we the players need to change their behavior, and we have seen that change today. We are with Xavi. That is what Raul Asensio can. I don't know why these guys keep on saying we are with Xavi. I don't know. We didn't deserve to lose today, and I think that Madrid were very, very good on the night. But see, the culture at Football Club Real Madrid is about winning. Nico Reali won the man of the match on the day. Unai Simon, like I said, was the man of the match for the Athletic Club game. Arsenal, man of the match, obviously, went to Abrante FN. Noni Madueke, who performed absolutely well, getting 2 goals against Club Brugge. He was spot on. We'll see how things are going to go. Say, my Brent friend Rodrigo goes after that goal no share against Man City. No, say, let's see if that goal will bring the best out of him. In 32 games, Rodrigo goes or just once in 2025. So it's tough for them. It's very, very tough for them. But then again, we'll see how things are going to go with the coming weeks now in the games that are going to go on. It's still not lost yet. Anybody can go in. Xabi Alonso becomes the fastest coach to ever record 2 defeats in a row for Madrid since Santiago Solari. Charlie. Xabi Alonso, he's in trouble. He needs to think things out. Guys, let's draw the curtain here. I'll see you later in the day, of course.